welcome to my shed. Been a bit slack the last week or two, just bumming around and kind of just doing stuff that I enjoy, and this is also what I enjoy doing, is just, you know, fixing stuff around the house and, you know, plodding around. And I thought I'd bring you guys along today to sort of show you. I've actually got this nice, beautiful old rock retaining wall around the back of my house. It's got a couple of minor cracks through and I bought some repair mortar, and I'm just going to go through and tidy it up and fill in some of the voids with some repair mortar. And I thought I'd bring you guys along and just sort of show you what I get up to around the house when I'm not working. And if you know me, you know, you probably know that I haven't been working for the last 2 weeks. Just been sort of taking some time to, you know, be human again and do some little projects around the house and do stuff that I really enjoy doing. So I thought I'd bring you along. Anyways, I'm going to give it a crack and so I'm hoping this trowel will do the trick. Show you the little cracks in the retaining wall now. So this is the beautiful old retaining wall. It's been here since 1989, so it's held up to the test of time, but I'm going to give her some love. So this is what I'm dealing with. So you can see just a bit of movement here. I'm going to go through and try put some mortar in here. So this is the stuff I got. It's actually construction grout, not repair mortar, but it does say that you can mix it up to non-slump or flowable mix. That looks like what I'm looking for there. Probably not the right application for what I'm using it for, but let's read the instructions because that is important too. So I'll go through and read the instructions. It says it lasts for 45 minutes once mixed, so that's a pretty good amount of time. We should be, I'll see how I go, but I'll mix a bit up and we'll do this small one first and then we'll go through and do the bigger one. So I'm just going to add a little bit, and I'm just going to sponge some water in, to be honest, because I don't know, I want it quite stiff. Alright, I'll let you guys know that was far too much water. So let's add some more powder, a lot more, because the consistency I'm looking for is like basically like Play-Doh. So I reckon that is the perfect consistency that I'm looking for. So I'm going to put you guys on that side because I'm actually right-handed, so I kind of need my right hand. And you know what I forgot? A drop sheet. Drop sheet acquired. So I'm a messy bugger, so I always use a drop sheet. So I'm just going to start by kind of just knead it into the crack. Just little bit by little bit. I'm not too worried about getting it on the stone face because sometimes your hands are the best thing for it. But as I was saying, I'm not too worried about getting it on the rock face because I have a bucket of clean water behind me. I'm going to push this in. A bucket of clean water behind me that I can go through and sponge the rock face off and, you know, make sure it's all nice and clean after. But, you know, this type of, because it's not sealed, this type of exterior stone, you know, after about 6 months it just gets moldy again because it hasn't got any sealer on it, which, you know, I kind of like the moldy, you know, grungy look. I don't kind of like things always looking, you know, so perfect, and I don't know, you know, it is what it is. It's a nice old stone wall, you know, so just kind of try embrace that. It is a stone wall and it is a natural product. Just gonna push some more of that right into that crack. So in case you're getting a bit worried, I'm not, but I am finger painting a little bit with the product. Like I said, not a tutorial. It's more just me in the garden doing random little side quests at my house. So, alright, I'll grab the sponge. So I do have some clean water in this bucket. I'm just gonna dip the sponge into the clean water, give the face a bit of a wipe. Make it look all clean, well, as clean as it can be until it gets moldy in about 3 to 6 months. And I'm just going to keep rinsing the sponge after, you know, most of the sides are dirty, and clean sponge, clean water. Obviously the water dirties up after a while, but if you're really worried about it, you can have a couple of different buckets of water and, you know, go through and do a couple of different rinses. But like I said, I am not overly concerned. It's just more about wanting to keep the rock wall in one piece and somewhat aesthetically nice. I don't necessarily want those cracks getting bigger, which they probably will because the rock wall is moving, you know what I mean, over time with all the water that comes down behind it. And can't imagine in 1989 the drainage systems they used would have been all that good, but here we are. Pretty happy with that, I think. Maybe just a little bit down the bottom here. Perfect. So you can see I'm just going through and filled that void in with a bit of that structural grout. Perfect, let's go do the other one. So this one is quite a bit bigger. That's why I thought I'd start on the small one. Because, to be honest, there is really no plan. I just want to fill them up and hopefully get a couple more years out of this retaining wall. With this one, I'm definitely going to pack it in there as much as I can. You can probably hear my dog barking in the background. That's okay, but I'm just going to really, could have probably made this a bit soupier to help, you know, get it down there a bit more, but to be honest, I didn't really want it to run everywhere and pour out the face, because I know this crack probably goes pretty deep, so I'd rather just use my hands and the trowel to kind of, I don't know what you call this technique, massage the mud in there. And what I'm hoping this does is it probably won't really change anything, because, you know, if it's already started to move, there's obviously some structural issues going on. But what I can do is just stay busy and also feel like I'm helping. But yeah, I'm just gonna push this in there. So that does go quite deep. So what we might try to do is put it on the end of the trowel and feed it in that face there. Like I said, I am no professional retaining wall fixer. I am simply a pro homeowner. I wouldn't say pro, I'd say I'm a homeowner. And this, every time I come outside here, this big crack has been bothering me. So today I thought, you know what, I'm not really that awfully busy. Let's see if we can try to do something about it. I guess if I do this and then, you know, I do see it cracking more, I actually know that there's something going on, and I can potentially then start to plan to fix it properly. Because I don't actually know if my eyes are deceiving me and it's been getting worse, or I definitely think it's been getting worse. Shove it in there. Give it a little massage. I don't know if you actually know this, but sometimes there is probably a tool that's better for this, but sometimes I just find that getting my hands a bit dirty is a bit easier. might just give the trowel a bit of a wet up. Sort of give it a bit of a shape. Just remember, I will clean the face off in a minute. I know no one's probably going to watch this, but I mean, I can't say if this is the right or the wrong way to do a little cosmetic repair, but I mean, it makes me feel good, right? So I don't see anything wrong with that. Just going to wet the tip of the trowel up and kind of give it some shape. And see, this is why I bought a drop sheet out. It's because I do tend to make a bit of a mess. So what I'm going to do with the sponge, I'm actually just going to come along. To be honest, I'm not too worried about the rock face here. It's not too bad. I think what I'll do is just smooth over this compound or repair mortar, or I honestly don't even know what it is, but we're doing it. And then just a bit at the top. So you can see once the sponge gets a bit too much shit on it, I just go to a bit of a cleaner side. I don't know. Can't really be a judge. I've never really done this before. I've done a bit of repair rendering, so I'm just kind of doing it the same way I'd do a bit of render patching, really. Same sort of method, really. All right. Pretty happy with that. And now, I actually haven't checked the camera, so I'm not really sure what you guys can see. But I'm just going to cover the top back over with mulch and pretend I've never been here. What do you think? I mean, it's no Swiss watch, but I'll give it a pass. Alright, let's see what else we can find.
Trump says a lot, you know what I mean? Jeans, I like, you have great jeans, or, you know what I mean, you have...
Wash your bloody tools, mate. That was a weird little side mission. There was actually less cracks than I thought, and I bought a 20 kilo bag of the construction grout. I only used about a kilo, if that, on those 3 cracks. Anyways, that's a job I've been looking at for a long time, putting it off, but I finally did it. So now I've decided that I'm going to clean the shed, and well, I wouldn't say clean the shed, I'd say a man's tidy. So generally, you know what that means. That just means putting stuff away. That's how you do a boys tidy. Because after I do a little project like that, somehow things seem to get pretty out of control and pretty everywhere, and I like things just in a place at least, so then I'll be nice and happy. But I was actually just thinking, I really want to do a fucking project, but I don't know exactly what. I don't know, I have these weird urges to create and build and make things. That's why I've been filming on some content and making little videos and things like that, helping me with those creative impulses, you know, to make things. And even though, you know, not many people watch, or, you know, whoever watches some of the tutorials or whatever, that's fine. I still enjoy making it. But so tomorrow I was thinking that maybe I might pressure wash the house, and might do all the pressure wash the house and do all the pathways and get it all nice and clean. Probably try to do it every year. Normally do it around Christmas, but I've got the time now, so I don't see why not. Just get it all cleaned up and give me something to do. I really suck at, I don't know, like getting ideas off the ground. Like I know how to do things, but like the first step is sometimes the hardest part, and then once I get on a roll, I tend to, you know, like the saying, once there's motion in the ocean, it continues to, you know, continues to flow and continues to move with the momentum. But sometimes when I pull up like I have, and, you know, taking some time off work, and the motion kind of disappears, but it's not a bad thing, because, you know, sometimes I need to put a halt to it all and just plod along and do things that is really enjoyable. But anyways, enough of that rant.